You know what I believe in. Upgrades. Sweet, delicious, Iceborne upgrades to destroy you all with.
Why are you slowly getting more and more purple?
I just told you. Upgrades.
Oh no. Hello, my fellow hunters. I think it's about time we focused back on, he who comes to destroy us all, the Black Dragon of Black Dragons, the one creature army that destroyed an entire kingdom, the Reaver of Flame, the Doom, the real bad news. Because the news is even worse than we first feared, because this Fatalis seemingly is, well, stronger than any Fatalis has been before. See, apparently much like New Elatrion, he seems to also have a purple mode! See, if you wander on to the update page, you can see in this glorious free title update 5, a screenshot of the fight in the background, and that is, well, depicting Mr. Fatalis doing some good old-fashioned hunter roasting. But what he is doing that hunter roasting with is flames that are burning purple. And to me, this signifies one of two things. Either firstly, his flamethrower attacks initially just ignite with a bluey purple flame before melting away into the more traditional orangey reddy death. Or, and this one is much more fascinating and fun to believe, it is genuinely purple fire that he can, well, fire. And this is exciting because, of course, as we change colours of flame, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, blue flame being hotter than red flame. So to me, this is evidence that they're actually going to play into Fatalis' legend of having the hottest, most destructive fire of all monsters. His legend that if he wanted to, he could turn the very world around him to naught but ash and cinder in a mere 3 days. Now that might be a little bit too far, but one thing that is not is giving him an intensity of flame to match the intensity that comes with his name. See, you can see the same example with Lunastra. Lunastra's fire is something special, and she got that bluey purpley treatment. And yes, thematically it goes along with, well, Teostra's red and his fire is red, and Lunastra's blue and her fire is blue, but it's also a nice way of indicating that, yeah, she burns hot. And that is what I believe is going on here with Fatalis. So we're in for some new, unbelievably destructive flame attacks. Hopefully and probably the most destructive, apocalyptic, world-ending flame attacks we have ever seen in the series. And I, for one, cannot wait to be destroyed by it harder than it did the excitable A-lister. But outside of this beautiful purple fire, there is something else that grabs my attention too, and that is Fatalis' chest. Oh yes. See, it is, well, glowing. It's very, very much glowing. And it's glowing in such a way that it looks to be internally glowing. A heat from within blazing through. And this is important because normal Fatalis, or at least old normal Fatalis, doesn't do this. The most you can do is wound his chest and, gives him a nice garish red splattering, but it's much higher up than it is in this preview, and even when he is angry, it certainly doesn't glow. It's more of just a diagonal gash than a huge splattering of marks like it is in this screenshot. Now, it could be, of course, just the lighting from his own fire, but then it would be speckled across his entire body. Not very very specifically his chest in a way that actually looks to be glowy through it. It's almost translucent, like it's so hot that you can see into the very burning hatred core of him, like when you put a flashlight under your hand and you can see through your hand. So this super burny mode, I assume this is how he gets when he's angry perhaps, or maybe when he's low. Maybe it is how new Fatalis' chest looks when you wound it, but at the very least it is glowing through. And the Fatalis that does that is Crimson Fatalis. When he is angry, he starts to absolutely radiate heat, and he does glow, well, crimson. So that's kind of really intriguing to see that perhaps he is getting a little bit of a smattering from Crimson added in, a sort of ultimate combo Fatalis. See, with White too, when his chest is broken and he's a little bit upset and he gets his red marks, the wound itself actually starts crackling with his dragon lightning. So I would like to say, or at least hazard a guess, that our Iceborne Fatalis, given that they're just adding base Fatalis, is going to take inspiration and draw from all that is Fatalis. Perhaps we will see flavors of both Crimson and White, not as directly as perhaps meteors from Crimson or, you know, dragon lightning from White, but I do feel like we're going to get this really supreme ultra version that can do stuff the likes of which we've never seen before. But that's hard to say from just a screenshot. But what is very apparent is there is something very quirky happening with his fire, something very dire, and something that we have never seen before. And I am so excited to face him! Just a few days away. I wanted to at least talk about it and get ourselves back on focus with the trial ahead. Oh, yes. Alright, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think of this little idea of a finally Ultra Flame Fatalis and all he has going on. We also have his theme. Which is looking just, it's so good. And yes, I will be doing a true rendition of it, let's say. But until that time, I will leave you to prepare for the oncoming storm. I mean, even just the scorched ground is so awesome. If he actually turns the whole Schrade zone into an inferno that you have to bask within, oh my word. Oh, Fatalis, Fatalis, Fatalis. Heaven and earth are yours. I do often wonder, though, if anyone listens to me do that little sing and doesn't know it's the actual, you know, like, folklore song of Fatalis and just feels like I've completely lost it and I'm trying to give this fictional dragon the entire world. In either case, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you soon, and goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kinda relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.